Imagine this. You're a parent, you're on a cruise ship deck, and then just the unthinkable happens. Your child falls overboard, and without even a split-second thought, you jump. You jump into the ocean right after them. The sheer emotional force of that, the drama, it's almost impossible to really wrap your head
It
around.
really is, that primal instinct.
Exactly. And today we're doing a deep dive into a pretty remarkable incident that happened aboard the Disney Dream cruise ship. It's this dramatic rescue of a young child and her father after she fell. So our mission here is really to, walk you through exactly what happened step by step. We've got accounts from people who actually saw it all unfold.
Right. Those eyewitness perspectives are crucial.
Definitely. And we'll look at how the cruise line responded so incredibly fast, and we'll also get some valuable insights from a cruise expert about safety, survival odds, the whole picture.
The goal is really to give you, our listener, a clear, concise understanding of this whole thing. The human side, yes, but also the operational side, how it all worked.
Or how it had to work, I guess. It's this blend, isn't it? Amazing courage meets really well-executed procedures.
Yeah, what's so fascinating is just how many things had to click into place, like perfectly, for this outcome.
Okay, so let's set the scene for you. This all went down on a Sunday. The ship was the Disney Dream.
Right. Big ship.
Huge. It was heading back to South Florida, finished up a 4-night cruise in the Bahamas, so sailing somewhere between the Bahamas and Fort Lauderdale.
And they docked early Monday morning, Port Everglades.
Gotcha. So this wasn't like just a minor thing. The Street first reported it. A young girl goes overboard, final leg of the cruise. And the truly standout detail is the father. He just immediately leapt in right after her.
That's the pivot point, isn't it? That immediate instinctual act. It changes everything that comes next.
Totally. Because the stakes were just instantly sky high. We heard from passengers later talking to CBS News Miami. They said the father was treading water for more than 10 minutes.
Wow.
Holding his daughter in his arms. Just think about that. 10 minutes plus, waiting, in the middle of the ocean.
What kicks in on the ship's side in a moment like that? What are the first protocols?
Well, 10 minutes it's an eternity out there. An overboard call that triggers the absolute highest emergency level instantly.
Right.
We're talking seconds, sirens, alarms across the whole ship. Key crew members, they have assigned emergency stations. They scramble immediately. It's not just a random alarm. It's a very specific, highly drilled response.
Yeah.
Designed purely to save time.
And save lives.
And save lives, absolutely. Maximize those chances.
And that seems to be exactly what happened. Witnesses said an emergency alert went off right away, signaling how serious it was. The crew, they just jumped into action, launched a rescue boat fast, started tossing life preservers out.
Standard procedure, but needs to happen like clockwork.
Yeah. And one passenger, Laura Amador, she mentioned the ship was moving fast at first, which you'd expect, but then she said the captain slowed the ship and turned it around. And turning a ship like the Disney Dream around, I mean, that's not like doing a U-turn in your car. It's a massive operation.
Yeah.
It takes incredible skill, precise calculations. It really speaks volumes about their training. There's just zero room for error. And crucially, they deployed a tender ship that's a smaller boat, used for rescues or getting people ashore sometimes.
Right.
Crew already on board, ready to go, heading straight for the father and daughter.
And there's video, thankfully. A TikTok user, Noeala32, captured it. You can see the dad still in the water with his little girl.
Oh, wow.
Then he hands her up to the rescue crew in the tender boat, and then they help him in. Just the relief seeing that must have been immense.
Oh, absolutely. For everyone watching from the rails.
Another passenger, Kevin Faruda, he posted on Facebook later that she'd fallen from deck 4.
Deck 4, okay.
Yeah.
That gives some context to the height of the fall, too.
Yeah, and seeing them actually pulled into that boat, you can just imagine the feeling on deck.
A huge collective sigh of relief, I'd imagine, after holding your breath for probably what felt like forever.
Totally. The reports say the cheering from the passengers watching was just deafening when the rescue was complete.
I bet.
People were obviously incredibly emotional. That passenger, Laura Amador, she talked about seeing them become just tiny dots in the sea.
Chilling.
And then losing sight of them altogether before seeing the boat reach them. Just harrowing. Another woman, Melanie Rickman, her reaction was just so raw. She was saying, oh my God, that's a dad that needs to have a hero. He's a hero.
You hear that a lot, the word hero.
Yeah. He jumped in to save his child. That man is a hero. And she was wondering, how did he survive that long? 2 people, bless their hearts.
Yeah, the time factor again. It's critical.
And Tracy Robinson Hughes, she was visiting from Charleston. She said she just cried like a baby because I was worried. And then when they were safe, the tears really started flowing from joy. She said she prayed to God to save them, and he did.
That deep emotional connection people felt.
She also praised Disney, saying they reacted right away, stopped the ship. You can tell they were highly trained for this. Everybody was cheering.
That observation about the training, it keeps coming up. It's clearly something people noticed.
Yeah. And Eric Pabon, another passenger, called it very nerve-wracking, said it took everybody's breath away. And, as a father himself, he said he would have done the same thing. Hoped it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience he never sees again.
You hope nobody ever has to see that, absolutely. That shared feeling, the anxiety, then the relief, it really highlights the human side of a crisis like this. And yeah, the comments on training are key. Every second counts. It's a testament to both courage and that rapid response.
And to really understand how extraordinary this outcome was, how rare, we looked at what a cruise expert had to say. Amanda Berry, she's known as Mandy the Cruise Planner on TikTok. Her first reaction, naturally, was obviously relief that a child was saved and that the father was also saved. Just relief. But she also mentioned something interesting. A trend she feels she's seen among, quote, experienced cruisers.
Oh, what's that?
She said, especially in the last 2 or 3 years, a lot of parents not closely monitoring their kids as much. What's your take on that observation?
Well, it's a tough one. And obviously, we have no idea if that applies at all in this specific case. We just don't know the circumstances of the fall.
Right, absolutely. Need to be clear on that.
But generally speaking, it does touch on perceptions of safety. Maybe sometimes there's a feeling of complacency, or just cruise ships have so much going on, maybe attention gets divided.
Yeah, distractions.
It's just a reminder, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even in what feels like a controlled space, vigilance is key. And it's also important to remember, Disney ships, like the Dream, they have safety features. Plexiglass barriers on the railings, specifically designed to prevent falls.
Right, so how this particular fall happened is still unclear.
Exactly. But the barriers are standard.
Okay. But here's the thing that really puts the father's actions and the rescue into perspective, the statistics. Barry pointed out that only about 17 to 25% of people survive once they go overboard.
That low? Wow.
Yeah, 17 to 25%. Why is it so incredibly hard to survive that?
It's fighting against so many factors. First, the fall itself, the impact. Then hypothermia sets in incredibly quickly, even if the water feels warm.
Right.
Then there's just the sheer difficulty of spotting someone. A person in the vast ocean, they become a tiny speck almost instantly. Currents, waves, it's easy to lose sight.
Makes sense.
And finally, like we said, the time it takes for a huge ship to slow down, turn, launch a rescue boat, find the person.
Right.
It all adds up. Time is absolutely the enemy.
So for both of them to be rescued and quickly and survive.
It really is, as Barry said, honestly a testament to the Disney staff. Their protocols, their training, it had to be absolutely spot on. Given those odds, it's not just effective, it's bordering on miraculous.
And Disney Cruise Line, in their official statement, they pretty much echoed that. They gave full credit to their team.
As they should.
A spokesperson said they commend our crew members for their exceptional skills and prompt actions, which, quote, ensured the safe return of both guests to the ship within minutes.
Within minutes. That's key.
Yeah. They also reinforced their commitment to the safety and well-being of our guests and finished by saying this incident highlights the effectiveness of our safety protocols.
You really can't argue with that based on the outcome. It's a textbook case, really. Immediate response, well-drilled procedures, critical when seconds matter.
Right. It was this combination, wasn't it? The father's instant heroic act and the cruise line's super fast, super effective response. That created this really rare positive outcome.
Exactly. It wasn't just luck. It was preparation meeting that raw human courage head on.
So we've kind of navigated through all the dramatic details of this incredible rescue. We heard from people who were right there watching. We got context from an expert from the cruise line itself. And this incident where 2 people survived falling off a cruise ship, something with such grim survival statistics, even with safety barriers like plexiglass, it really does stand out.
It absolutely does.
What's just so compelling is how that immediate, parental heroism combined with the incredibly fast trained response from the crew.
Yeah.
How that created this rare moment of triumph.
Yeah, this whole deep dive really shows that balance, doesn't it? Between the completely unexpected and the meticulously planned for.
So what does it all mean for us, thinking about this? It kind of raises a big question, doesn't it? When you're faced with a sudden high-stakes crisis like this one, what's the unique role played by individuals